Look.
Fellow.
She looking at my hand for treats. Look. You see her? She keep following my hand. I don't have it.
Yup.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Naps and Nurture. We are testing or somewhat getting into a segment that we are looking to call the Regal 30. We're still working out the logistics for it, but we had a little topic that we were talking about. We wanted to kind of discuss. And we think it's going to be a decent little topic, so we wanted to go ahead and just do our very first recording session on our YouTube channel, talking about like different topics of marriage and things like that. So, what was the question that you asked me earlier?
It was like kind of all over the place, but the question was based off of the movie that's coming out on Valentine's Day, called The Photograph. I'm really interested in seeing it. It looks like a good rom-com. But there was, in the preview, it made the notion that electricity had went out. And the couple, who are the main stars in the movie, kind of had a little fun with that time and, had some...
Lights out!
Had a little fun. So... I asked you, no, I'm not done. So they had fun with that time, okay? This is easier off camera. But yeah, so they had fun with that time, and they were talking to another couple who I'm assuming are a little more well established or maybe married. And they asked the newer couple, what did you guys do when the electricity went out? And it kind of looked like they made the notion that, they had a little fun when the electricity went out. So they told them, oh, you guys lasted 3 hours without Wi-Fi. Marriage is a consideration. Like, you can consider marriage. So I asked Mike, did he feel like... First, I asked him if he felt like we could last 3 hours without Wi-Fi, which we pretty much have before multiple times. And I also asked him, what did he feel like is a big deal? Like, what is a thought that you have that would make you think, okay, this couple is marriage material? Like, if they could handle this, or if they could deal with this or do this, they could handle marriage. And I asked him a lot of questions. So I'm like, I asked him, what did he think that was? And then I asked him, what was it about me that made him feel like, okay, yeah, that's marriage material? What did we go through, or what did he see in me that made him realize that he wanted to deal with me?
So we didn't get to the second part of that question. Actually, we barely got through the first part. So she asked me that. So my answer for that was, I feel that when a couple is together, what would warrant me to say, you know what, that's marriage material. Like, they on their way to a healthy marriage, or even being married at all, is when they both get the mindset to have each other's back. To me, all the dynamics change when the man says to the woman, I got your back, and the woman says back to the guy, I got yours as well. Like, to me, everything changes when you have that mindset. Whether it comes to health, whether it comes to money, whether it comes to careers, whether it comes to building a family, the house, how you're raising your kids, and things like that. I feel like having each other's back changes everything. It changes how you argue, how you fight. It changes how you disagree with one another, and I know that because of how me and her deal with one another. More than most of the time, we're getting along. We can get along well, hang out with each other, have fun. This is literally my best friend. We joke around and all that. But you know, we have our moments where we be like, all right, where your head at so I can bite it off. You know, it's just like we have our moments where we do argue and we do disagree. I think we had a disagreement like 2 days ago or something like that. But it's just like, even with us having a disagreement, like I used to like go hard in arguments. You know what I mean? I used to just yell, curse, all kind of stuff. And this, oh my gosh, bro, what a camera at so I can adjust it. Like, even with our recent fight, I was just like, I realized what's important. I was just like, all right, we had a disagreement. That's cool. But I'm out here, I'm working. You know, I'm out here moving around. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or today. So for right now, I love you. You know, I'm going to talk to you when we get home kind of thing. Just to calm things down. Because I realized that, yeah, we're disagreeing, but I still got your back at the end of the day. You still, at the end of the day, you still my homie. You still my ace. Still my best friend at the end of the day. So no matter what the argument is, I still got your back. And to me, that changes the dynamic of how you treat one another. What made me realize that she was my wife was the fact that she just allowed me to be myself, for one. She allowed me to be myself, and I like the fact that she took an interest in me. You know, it wasn't a thing of she was tolerating me or something like that. Like, she took an interest in just the real Michael, and the real Michael can be a lot. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's a lot for me. When she took an interest in it and she encouraged me, she would build me up. She wasn't disrespectful to me, and she wasn't out of pocket with me. You know what I mean? And she just made me feel like I could be me and not necessarily feel hurt or feel bashful about it or anything like that. And she encouraged me in what I was doing. She encouraged me in what I was good at. She saw that I was good at drawing and painting, and was like, baby, why don't you just stick with it? And I did, and it just seemed like it just grew and grew ever since then. Like, ever since she said that, it completely changed. So I was noticing that, like, a lot of things that she touched just becomes blessed. So I wanted in on it.
Really?
I was just like, well, I want to cash in on this a little bit.
So you using me just like Pharaoh. See what I do with in this family.
But I got her back and stuff like that. But yeah, I just realized that she just, you know, she allowed me to be me. And at the same time, she'll give me constructive, you know, words like, hey, don't do this. Maybe try this. You know, ease up on this a little bit. And it always works out, you know what I mean? So what about you? What was the thing that you saw that was just like, yep, that's gonna be the chocolate hubby?
Well, the first thing that stood out to me was that you were a man of God. I saw that, you know, you made it your business to
shout out JC.
Be, you know, at the house of the Lord every Sunday. And, you know, and it wasn't just a thing of you was just there, like you actually knew the word. So, you know, that was, I would say that would have a lot to do with it. It was a little attractive, you know, outside of, you know, the chocolate deliciousness, because, you know, I have a soft spot for chocolate, you know, as we can see here.
So I've heard.
But yeah, it was that, like, and I felt like if, you know, I had a man of God, then I knew I had someone on my team that was a winner, you know. I feel like that was it. Like, I needed somebody who was going to be there. Didn't mind spending time with me, you know. Like, I feel like I could be clingy at times. That's just me, you know. I like spending time with the one I love. So
I don't really look at it as clingy though. Like, clingy.
I think that's because quality time is kind of one of your things as well.
Yeah, and so then
it works out for both of us.
But you're not lame about it though. Like, I seen people that be like, they want to be around whoever the person is, but they just be real lame about it, and they just be like, I want to be around you. This is like.
So what does that mean?
Like, you be a little more chill. It's like, all right, when you get home from work, you know what I mean? You gonna spend a little time. It's me and you spend a little time, you know. But you ain't overbearing about it. You give me my space. You allow me to, like I said, that's one of the things that I like, you know, initially that drew me to you so far as marriage is like you allow me to be me, and you don't really like try to constrict me or restrict me. You'll construct and be like, hey, you know, you're doing a little too much of this. Stop doing a little bit too much of that. You know, making too much noise. Keep it down. You know, stuff like that. But it's just like that I'm cool with. You know what I mean? Because most of the time it's constructive and it actually helps me build more of a structure. You know, it's like, hey, get a schedule together. Don't just be running around here streaming 24 hours. Get a schedule. Stick to the schedule. And it's like stuff like that.
Yeah, because I mean, that streaming was cutting in on my, you know, on my time.
Boy, it was.
It's just like, bro, like, yeah. So, you know, that and kind of the same thing. Like, I could be myself. You know, we would hang out and just talk for hours. Like, when we first started dating, it was crazy how much we just sat around and talked. And I think that's what made me like realize this question when I heard it on the preview. I thought about it. I'm like, because Wi-Fi was a thing when me and Mike started dating. We've been together a long time, but Wi-Fi existed.
It was still there. It was there.
So
it was AOL.
The way that we used to just hang out, like, man, it's crazy. When we first started dating, I was still living with my mom. So it was in these apartments, and there's like a little playground.
The playground
across the street from the apartments that she lived in.
It was kind of lit too.
Listen, we would go to the little playground, and it would be kind of late at night, so it wasn't like we was out there hanging, creepy looking, like hanging out with a bunch of kids. Just two random adults just hanging out with a whole bunch of kids.
What y'all doing? Who is this?
So,
I am in the middle of a chat.
Bro, you rude.
What else is going on? My other phone? I gotta cut this out the video. Okay.
Is it on?
Yeah.
How?
Wi-Fi.
Oh, it's a Facebook call.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Who is it?
My trap phone.
But don't blame me, okay? Made me forget what I was saying.
Oh, he's about the playground.
The playground, yeah. So, of course, it would be like by the time he get off work or I get off work, so it's like 8 o'clock or something. Ain't no kids out there late, especially on no school night. So we would go and just sit at the playground and just talk for hours. Or maybe even sometimes just sit out on the porch and just talk for hours.
Mm-hmm.
And like talk until the sun come up.
Man, I remember that one day I came over to your house. I think your mom was at work. Mm-hmm. Came over to your house. I think you finally let me in the house. Like, for the longest, your boy had to just walk around the apartment complex, just holding hands. It's like
whatever.
The whole time I'm just like, man, it would be definitely nice to hold hands inside the house.
Well, it was nice out, so it wasn't like I had you outside in the cold or something.
It was cool. It was summer night, so it was cool. But like, man, the mosquitoes, like, they was getting way more action than I was getting.
Whatever. Anyways,
she had invited me to the house finally, and we just literally hung out the whole night, wrestling, playing cards, watching movies, watching cartoons.
Movies watching us, because we like legit would put a movie in, press play, and talk the entire movie. The movie go off, end credits. Oh, what else you want to watch? Put the next movie in. Push play. Talk the entire movie. Like, we did this for like 3 movies straight.
We could never finish a movie because we'll be watching it and we'll see something and be like, so what you think about this? Yeah. And this is like...
Spark up a whole conversation and it lasts us the entire movie because we wouldn't pause pausing and talking. No, the movie was still playing.
Now,
we were still talking.
now we pause. We pause the movie now. Like we was watching this show called You on Netflix. Pretty good show. It's kind of crazy. Go check it out. We was watching that show just a few minutes ago, and like we'll pause. We'll be sitting there watching something, see something. We'll boop, pause and be like, "So what you think about T-Tot 2?" And just be going on for like 10 minutes, and then finally unpause and continue.
Yeah.
But like we could not finish the movie. Like we were so into each other, and I don't know, it's weird, man. I feel like we still are into each other. That's why we always, having these long, drawn out conversations in the middle of a show or a movie.
Learn to pause the movie so that we could actually finish it.
So when we were downstairs now, I was just like, well, shoot, I got the microphone, we got the camera. Let's see how the conversation will go. Record it. So here we are.
And yeah, like I said, it was pretty much that. Like how much fun we had with each other with just the simple stuff. Because like we would, even with that, like we would go to parks and just walk around and just talk or whatever. Not, all in our phones or, sitting in front of a TV. Well, the time we was sitting in front of the TV, it still didn't matter. We weren't paying attention. But just being able to just sit up and just have somebody to talk with. He listened to me, I listened to him. We learned like the crap.
You good?
Maybe.
All right, so we are back. We had to take a little brief intermission. My PC was being finicky. What were we saying right before we left? Do you remember?
I think I was answering.
What about me?
Yeah, what about you? And then was talking about how. Oh, I was saying I pray for my single friends because, it's hard out here. Talking, like, trying to spark up a decent, simple, proper conversation, like nowadays, especially with people around our age, which you think will be an age where men are starting to kind of try to settle down, get their life in order.
Man, some dudes be still trying to turn up.
Yeah, and still trying to, have hoes and stuff, and it's just like, bro.
Listen, you can't be 35, 40 years old talking about going to the club to get hoes.
Still being a player. Because that's what you are. I don't know what the new term for it is, but you're a player because you're old. But so that was attractive to me, being able to hold a conversation and keep it, and the only topic of discussion wasn't sex.
I was always like hated that, like dudes who find a girl that they like and they're attracted to. Of course, you thinking about sex will come up in your thought, but it's just like I hate it when people always just be over brands and be like, so how about now? Now you ready for it now?
Like back when I still was dating, 2 sentences into the conversation, send me a picture.
Man,
and it's just like,
send me a pic.
So it's just like, you don't even know my middle name. I don't even know yours. But you want a picture of me? Or they don't even ask you for a picture. They just send you one. And it's just like, thank you. No, thank you.
Check your deal.
But,
yeah, I've always hated that.
Yeah, but downstairs in the conversation when we were talking, you mentioned people having lists.
Yeah.
Of like their requirements, what they require.
I forgot about
that. Well, I remembered it because it sparked another question. So what do you feel like, I guess, what makes a list too strict? Because, as I said before, we have single friends. And, at our age, yes, there's a list. Yes, there's a requirement you have to meet because we can't be on the same stuff we was on when we was, teenage, younger 20s type stuff.
Makes
sense.
At
this point, yes, I require you to have this, have that, not do this, not do that. Yeah. But so with that though, I guess what makes a list too unrealistic?
To me, it's a multitude of things that can make a list unrealistic. One of the biggest things for me is making sure that what's on the list is something that you display yourself, and realizing that, understanding yourself, understanding that you may not hit everybody's bulletin on their list, but there are people out here that are still willing to give you a shot and give you a chance. So just be mindful of that when you have your list, that guy or girl may not hit every bulletin, but they may genuinely love you, care for you, and have your back. And they may be able to knock off a few more of those bulletins later on down the road. I feel like sometimes when the list just gets to where it sounds like it's a perfect person, and it's just like, you're never going to get that. You know what I mean? Like, nobody who has. People who've been married 50 some odd years still got issues and quarrels among each other and things like that, because they're not perfect. They're human. So to have a list and expect him to hit everything on that list, or her to hit everything on that list, I always tell people, like, ask yourself, like, what do you think, how many bulletins you think you hitting on theirs?
Well, with that though, I feel like, I guess if it's the right person, and they, have the right mindset, have the right intentions and all of that, if I'm requiring it from you, it's because I know that's what I'm bringing to the table. Or if I were to have a list of requirements, it's because it's based off of, I know me. I require you to do blase blase because I know I would do blase blah and more. So I need you to be able to do that much.
Okay.
So I guess that's what makes it like too much if you requiring this, and that, but you ain't bringing that yourself.
Makes sense. And it's like I said, you don't want to, because I see that sometimes. Like, I've seen out of shape people want a person that's in shape, kind of thing. And it's just like, at least come halfway with it. Don't be expecting this person to do something and go above and beyond in a certain category that you're not even willing to try or attempt. Yeah. Because some people want somebody to be honest and sincere and upfront and, to deal with all their stuff. And as soon as they want that from them, they just like, hold on, you want too much now. You want me to be honest and want me to be upfront about stuff? Because it was a lady on an interview that I listened to, and she said she wanted her dude to tell her everything, everybody he been with, who, what, when, where, and why, and all that. So that way, when she walk into a room, and if it's a girl there, she ain't got to feel intimidated by it. She already know what the rundown was. She ain't out there looking stupid. But she was withholding some information from him. And they was just like, what did you tell her? He's like, no, I ain't telling about that. But see that's different though. And everybody was just like, wait, how? And she went through this whole spiel, but it was just like, just be able to do the same thing same thing that you asking from them, be able to show forth the same thing.
I think that's like, that topic is up to the people in the relationship.
Like a to each his own kind of thing.
Yeah, because with us, we haven't necessarily discussed all of ours with each other. Like, of course, we know we weren't each other's first.
Yeah.
You had something for me, I had something for you, but it wasn't a thing of where we like gave a rundown of each and every name and number, and all of that. And I don't know, like I said, I think it's a to each his own type of person. And like you said, I guess if she was expecting that from him, then that should have been something that she would be willing to give up.
Alright, so I apologize about that, guys. We're kind of experiencing technical difficulties with our computer. We're going to go ahead and wrap this little segment up. But yeah, this is our very first, I guess, somewhat of like a couples conversation questionnaire sort of deal.
I think we were just like, this is kind of like a testing the waters type of video.
Yeah.
Trying to learn our equipment and, how we gonna do this type of thing.
Yeah, and just see how we do well on camera together. You know, I'm always on camera alone most of the time, so having it on camera, it definitely gives me like a different dynamic to work with. This is the first of many. We're gonna be doing many more of these. You're gonna see new guests, new locations. We just gotta upgrade some equipment, and that way we can make some smooth videos and have a smooth transition in the whole process. I appreciate everybody coming by, checking out the video. If you like the video, like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that. And we will catch you guys next time. Peace.